And then I'm gonna bring on Chris Aiken over here.
All right, how are we doing? AggieCon 55. Gotta love those cheap applause right at the top of the thing. So one more round of applause for all of our comics you'll have seen for this evening. I'm gonna go ahead and start off with something quick and short. We'll go with, if Spider-Man had been bitten by a radioactive dung beetle, I feel like he would have cleaned up a lot more. That's called written for the crowd. All right, so a lot of my childhood has been ruined, thanks to Pornhub. And not just because we can't say them. Nah, I came across a parody. Who remembers DuckTales?
Woo-hoo!
Woohoo. Well, I came across one called Cucktails, and those are now the first two words these people have just heard. Starring Splooge McDuck.
No.
And his nephews Ooey Gooey and Louie, which I thought was kind of strange. They kept the third one the same. And the theme song, I will apologize in advance, is just as catchy as the original. Without further ado, life is like a nightmare here in my room. Dishes, mistress, boyfriends, it's a cuck blur. Might beg for mercy, but she'll just ignore me. Cucktails, boo-hoo. Every day I'm out here taking cucktails, boo-hoo. Tales of staring so sad and blue, no fucktails, boo-hoo. Not alpha tails, not manly tails, no cucktails, boo-hoo. And their stern silence proves to me that the extra 27 seconds for that song do not need to exist. And do not worry, it doesn't actually exist. I made the entire thing up, but you gotta blame somebody because Disney will hunt you down. So you're all familiar with Ursula the Sea Witch from The Little Mermaid? One approval clap. Well, she's half octopus. What if she actually had an octopus's mouth?
No.
Where the mouth should be. That sea bitch would have a beak. I'm talking Boba Fett being digested by the Sarlacc pit for 1,000 years. Fucking beak, just. Like the main reason she'd get banned from parties, just showing up to uninvited, sliding across odors like an insane Roomba with tits, being like, tapas? My favorite. She slides into the punch bowl, marinating that shit, being like, oh, I'm getting hints of vanilla, oak, and a whole lot of shellfish. Yeah, I'd ban her too. Also, it's just a little frog. Yeah, the real one, hard to play, and the child's version, all more appropriate. So I'm actually kind of excited for the Harry Potter remake, because that means HBO is going to finally be able to go, no, actually, it gets worse. It's going to be able to go into the backstories of lesser known characters like my favorite, Hagrid's dad. You see, Hagrid is half human and half giant, which means that man hooked up with a 25-foot tall woman and lived. He's just staring at the world's tallest vagina being like, I'm going to find a way to make that work.
In one piece it works.
With a big enough thumb. Gotcha, Luffy. I do have some theories. Like maybe you just dove in head first like a salmon at the end of its life cycle. Or since it's the wizarding world and magic exists for them, perhaps it's a little known fact that the giant's vagina is on the bottom of the foot, called the vaginicle. And he just latched down like a koala. Well, bam! Gave himself some athlete's foot. And my personal favorite, just took out his wand using that old enlargement charm known as Ejaculosaur. Gave himself a massive hog and started hawking his meat around town like a Diagon alley vendor. Giant dick here, magically enhanced, taking on all challengers. And that's when from behind him you just hear, I'll do it. I just imagine this giant Danny DeVito with tits just being like, fee, fi, fo, duck. I smell a wizard, I'd love to fuck. Thereby making Hagrid's dad the greatest of all short kings. Some people are excited to be turning into vampires, but they don't really think about the age you are when you get bitten. Because according to some lore, and a lot of liberties I'm going to take with the backstory, you get bitten, that's what you're stuck at. Does anybody imagine being super old and then turning into a vampire? I'm like 100 years old, everything leaks, everything hurts, and then you start living forever. You wouldn't just have a coffin. You'd have a Tempur-Pedic coffin with a sleep number 4,462. It's air-cooled, it's got a massage function, catheter attached. And you don't even have functional teeth. You're a vampire with dentures. People just play keep away with their teeth. Ha ha, Dracula, got no teeth. You're just jumping at them. Ah, come on, I'm tired of smashed rat soup every night. And the worst part, the worst one, is when you go to transform into a bat, but you forget that you're massive vampire balls. So you're just flying around like a glorified game of Flappy Bird, just squeak, squeak, squeak. Ah! Can't even fly in a straight line. One's bigger than the other, so you're falling in circles. You get wrapped around a lamppost, just dangling like a sad grandfather clock. Just, someone get me down from here. Another Just a little too Jewish on that one. And that's when he shows up. Your nemesis, Van Balsing, the vampire taint hunter. And he just walks over, grabs you by your balls, being like, all right, Dracula, you forgot to talk this. It'd be terrible to be a old vampire, wouldn't it? Let's go down our list. So, let's go with leaving some hang time for the crowd to digest that one. So, who all's familiar with Danny Trejo or Machete?
Yes.
Wonderful. I wonder what it's like when a blind person meets Danny Trejo for the first time. You know how when they meet you, they touch your face and see what you look like? I feel like when a blind guy meets Danny Trejo, he feels like he just discovered Pirate's Gold. You know when it's X marks the spot, but for Machete, it's X, 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 X marks the spot. Or, Danny Trejo, this is going to be a bit of a roast. He deserves it. Earned his career with that way, so if a blind person were to read Danny Trejo's face, it's so bumpy. How bumpy is it? Thank you, crowd participation, everyone. He would instantly learn Spanish. And have the entire Machete trilogy memorized. He is also the one celebrity you definitely know never went to a Diddy party. Or maybe that's why they only had 1,000 bottles left. I'm not saying I have anything against the world's manliest Mexican. I just can't stand his skincare routine. I still give him a kiss. Mind you, I'd be mid-smooch being like, get this man some Clinique and a belt sander. And even afterwards, I need about 5 tubes of chapstick to keep myself from bleeding out. All right, now for some adult material. Parenting gets about 100 times harder. The moment your children discover masturbation, there's your 18 plus right there. So, but for my dad, it got about 1,000 times more difficult when I found mom's toys. That's right, strap in and strap on, children. We're in our adult portion of the show. I just remember one day breaking into my parents' bedroom. They were gone, their mistake. I was just looking for money. And I went straight to their closet and saw on the top shelf this giant paper bag, which I was convinced was just full of cold, hard cash. It was full of cold, hard things, not cash. I yanked on the bag, and raining down upon my head was 8-foot-long 1980s hard rubber dildos bouncing off the top of my head. Which probably explains where the inspiration came from, because I was like, oh, I can use one of those. And I did, but I used it wrong. And you can use it wrong, if it's old enough. I mean, it sounds a little corrugated. I did not have sex with a moldy SpongeBob SquarePants dildo, even though the plenty of holes gave you all sorts of options. No, I just took that thing in the bathroom, pissed in God's face for roughly 30 seconds, and then put it right back where I found it. Because, teenage boys don't think about where the cum goes until it's time to move. And that's when Dad came home. Thankfully, Dad came home first, because I don't want to have that conversation with my mother. She still doesn't know. She just knows, Dad threw those away for some reason. And as soon as he gets to the bedroom, that smell hits his face. There's a lot of things that smell like that. I just picture him like as a decanter, just being like, this isn't a Richard's brew. There's significantly less pineapple. Sorry. So at that point now he has to have a conversation with his son that no father ever thinks they're going to have, and for those of you who don't have children, good luck. He comes to my room, pokes his head around the corner to me, and I'm like, son, when you make a mess, which is like the most G-rated thing you can think of, clean up after yourself. And he tries to walk away. But curious, perverted George over here, what are those for, father? And he's just like, your mother, she's not into that. I'm going to leave now. And he just walks away. And you think that would be enough to stop me from going right back the next day. They left me home alone again, their fault. I'm very curious. Walk right into the room. I know where I'm going. I'm going straight to the closet, look at the top shelf, and realize, oh, they took my treasure. And replaced it with a picture of a very disappointed Jesus, just pointing at me, thou shalt not cometh. Alrighty. This is such a relevant thing. The kakapo, for those who don't know, is a rare flightless bird from New Zealand, also known as the world's fattest parrot. I think it got the name from having too much junk in the trunk just weighing itself down, but no, it has wings. It just can't get off the ground. And the mating ritual of the legendary kakapo takes about 100 days, once every 3 or 4 years, where the male will sit in a hole that he dug, screaming, making this noise every night. Fuck me. And when that doesn't work, which is most of the time, the kakapo humps a rock. This next bit of material is my impression of the kakapo on day 101. Well, that shit didn't fucking work. Oh, but hey, little piece of granite. Oh, you little amethyst, I'm gonna get you. I love the way you sit around. I love the way you got all the right angles at all the right angles. I'm about to buff you out. Woo! So, that's what I like to call the impression of my actual teenage spirit animal, the kakapo. By the time I finally got laid, I had dug a 30-foot well. And got divorced from 5 rocks. Pet rocks. Which is kind of hard to do. You know how they used to use makeup, or test for makeup on animals like on rats? There's got to be one rat that had everything tested on her. Like 4 out of 5 dentists secretly want to fuck rats. She must have, definitely must have a real fucking attitude, a real smug rat, just being like, I should have been a ratatouille. Just look at this bleached blonde asshole, I'm gorgeous. She throws her tail over her shoulder like a feather boa. I'll be in my trailer. But it's just a rat trap made to look like a trailer. They'd kick her ass into a river. And even while drowning, she'd still be complaining, I told you assholes not to get my fur wet. It's one hot rat. I might have, I would be tempted to restart the plague if she could get me a part in Ratatouille too. Mind you, knowing that bitch, instead of my top hair of my head, she'd be pulling on ass hairs making me move. Just being like, sear that steak. I'm sorry, mistress. But you can make anybody move just pulling on one little ass hair. Just watch them scoot. So I am dating. Despite everything I've been saying tonight. I'm dating a black woman. Woo! From Brazil. Hell yes! There is proof that there is hope for all of us. Yes, Lord! Because I like my women the way I like my Arabica mix. Black, Brazilian, sometimes a little bitter, but I have to get the sugar and cream. So the other day, I'm just trying to make her laugh, just sending her jokes via text message. And every time I'd send one in, she just sends back KKK. Which I thought was a bit weird, because I'm like, baby, do you know what that is? And she goes, oh, I'm sorry, I was just speaking Portuguese. I'm like, oh, thank you for clarifying. It's a little different in America. Yeah, it turns out in Brazil, they don't say LOL, ha ha ha. They text KKK, which they abbreviate as KKK. So I was in a very precarious situation where I, as a white man, had to explain the Ku Klux Klan to a black woman. And here's the best way I went with it. First off, baby, they really like dressing like spooky ghosts. And she goes, oh, like Carnival. No. Not like Carnival. Then I tried going, they really like wooden crosses. And she goes, like Jesus. No. Maybe the fire and brimstone is a good connection, but no. I finally just kind of gave up and like, all right, baby, they are super, they just hate black people. It's a bunch of white people. And she goes, oh, like your grandmother. Yes! Like my grandmother. All right, now that we've earned the black vote. I've never said that. I figured out where black man confidence comes from. It's not the massive dick, like so many of y'all do assume. It's the rap. You see, rap is just a bunch of positive affirmations disguised as felony threats. Turns out just telling yourself, I get all the money, I get all the bitches, 3 birthday wishes. That's just great for your mental health. What I'm trying to say is rap lyrics are vision boards you can twerk to. Unfortunately, you can't just manifest with any rap lyric. I found that out the hard way. I tried to manifest with ludicrous.
Ludo!
Exactly. Now you'll child support. In area codes 214-512-9713. Then I tried to manifest with Cardi B. I share a bed with 3 strong black men, and I'm the little spoon. And I even tried to manifest with Notorious B.I.G. And I got diabetes. And then Diddy fucked me and had me killed to keep me quiet. You know. And this is the one that will split the crowd. Intolerant people do not have a superhero. Which is why I invented Intolerant Man. You see, Intolerant Man has the power to fly to other countries and demand they speak English. No! Isn't that terrible that the one guy performing is the one fucking it up? So, Intolerant Man also has the power to turn down ethnic music anytime Steely Dan gets interrupted. And Intolerant Man gets physically ill anytime he hears, smells, or tastes MSG. And this next bit is the day Intolerant Man dies. I do go kind of quick, so try to keep up. One day, Intolerant Man sees a gay Jewish couple kissing in front of a Cracker Barrel and passes out from sheer outrage. Then he wakes up into the future, where everyone is ethnically ambiguous. No categories, just humans. So he panics, runs to a nearby mall, screaming, "Where are my people?" And this mixed-race toddler just looks up going, "Sir, have you tried ayahuasca?" And he panics, runs to the bathroom. He's staring himself in the mirror. He's crying, he's shaking. And looking back at him is Kanye West. He slaps his face. It's still Kanye. He touches his hair. It's different. He opens his pants. The one-eyed purple monster. Then he screams to the heavens, "My white soul! It's leaving my body!" Then this mayonnaise-colored soul rises up from the chest of Intolerant Man, moaning as it ascends, as one final tragic tear rolls down his face, in the shape of a Confederate flag. You see, Intolerant Man had become the one thing he hated most, being successful and black. How are we doing for time?
Whenever you have 4 more minutes for statistics.
Hell yeah. How are we doing, everybody? We're going to check in a little bit. Alrighty. So who all's been enjoying getting tattoos or just has maybe one? Woo! Woo! When you got your tattoo, was your artist able to figure out which head you masturbate more with?
No, I just won't.
Well, I'm sure that got the discount. Well, I remember getting this back piece of The Legend of Zelda. That's right, I bleed green. Shoulder blade to shoulder blade. Definitely hurt, you're not allowed to punch the artist if it fucking hurts. But he's just hovering over me. I'm laying down on the table and he's just like, I'm gonna need a second opinion. I could have told you! I write with my right. And now he's just two guys hovering over me, just sounding like two NASA engineers trying to land the rover on my asshole. If we go 3 degrees left and make it 10% bigger on the right, eventually it'll look symmetrical. And that's when the guy next to me pops up like a wise old stoner being like, dude, you're supposed to swap hands. And they're all laughing. I'm just praying ink hits a vein, just being like, this is horrible. I didn't even try playing it off. No, this was Tylenol. When Mom was pregnant with me. And then fucking, he just goes, no, dude, that was Pornhub. All right, I believe that is all my time for tonight. Thank you so much for coming out to our show. One more time for all the comedians we've seen for tonight. Thank you so much. I'm Chris Aiken. We do have a lovely board of our Instagrams that may or may not work. If you do wish to follow any of us on our social media, the tags are correct, but the QR code and a little bit of an elephant in the room. I did use AI to make the posters for us, which is why I look like I have cancer. So, thank y'all so much for coming.